How's it going, everybody? Jared Lutz here with a roundup of the most recent Diablo 4 news that we've gotten over the past week. We got a new Inside the Game video which detailed all the various ways you're able to customize your characters, from transmog to gear, skills, and more. This showed off new unique items as well, and what the uniques actually look like when they drop in-game. This video also brought a blog post along with it with even more new tidbits of information, and then we also got some clarifications on things from the devs on Twitter. So let's open up the metaphorical loot chest and see what we got. First off, we have confirmation on how long it will take to reach level 100, which is the max level on one character, and it is about around 150 hours. Now, maybe to the normal or casual player, this might seem like a lot, but you have to remember that the end game itself, or the activities that unlock that are considered end game, kind of start around level 50, which is around the level you'll beat the campaign at. We also have to remember the majority of those hours are going to come from really trying to grind out those last 15 or last 10 levels, which are going to be a considerable grind compared to, the 1 to 80. Plus, once you get to that point, you're really just fine-tuning your build, just really fine-tuning the nitty-gritty details of your build, so it's not like those last 10 levels are going to be like super important for the majority of characters or players. We also learned that once you beat the campaign once, you actually have the option to skip it on your other created characters, and this will carry through each season as well, so you really only have to do the campaign one total time. Basically, what this will do, if you choose to skip the campaign, all the locked zones that required campaign progress or require campaign progress will then be unlocked because obviously you don't have the campaign to do, and then every side quest will still remain there for you to have the option to do or not. I'm pretty sure this doesn't relate to hardcore characters, so you can't beat the campaign on a normal character and then create a hardcore character and expect to be able to skip the campaign. I'm pretty sure hardcore and normal characters are completely separate in that regard. We also know that you will unlock mounts during the campaign after completing a certain quest. It was originally stated that you had to actually beat the entirety of the campaign, but that statement was since changed, so it's just a quest along the path of the campaign. And then once you unlock a specific mount, it will be unlocked for all characters. Now, speaking on Helltides, we know now that event chests within Helltides are instanced to you, so if some random player is doing a Helltide at the same time as you, you'll never have the issue of them opening up the Helltide chests before you. We also know that there's a kind of uber chest in Helltide areas that is unlike the other chests in the way that it's not marked on your map at all, and it requires you to kill an uber boss that's somewhere near the chest to open it. This info comes direct from Rhykker's time with the game while visiting the studio. And last but not least, before we move into the Inside the Game Your Class Your Way video, dying in PvP on a hardcore character results in you losing that character. I'm not sure why that this was a question to begin with. Apparently a lot of people are upset with this decision. I don't know what hardcore players want. That's hardcore for you. Okay, so let's dive into the Inside the Game video that was released recently, which was basically titled Your Class Your Way. This video goes over all the different ways you can customize your character, from character creation to transmog to gear to skills. It's mainly a video for newer or more casual players to learn about the game and its systems, but we do get to see some new stuff. First off is things to do with the Paragon boards. We see a subdue magic glyph. Glyphs are items that you can place into sockets on the Paragon boards, which will then buff up a certain amount of surrounding nodes based on the rarity and the level of that socketed glyph. This magic glyph is called Subdue. It's level 1 and has a radius size of 2, with the next level of it increasing the size to 4, and completing nightmare dungeons is how you kind of increase the level of these glyphs. Now, the bonus for socketing this glyph is for every 5 intelligence purchased within range, you gain plus 0.8% increased damage to vulnerable targets. There's another magic glyph here called a Ruin, where the bonus is essentially the same, but the increase is to critical strike damage instead. Then we get to see a rare node called Finisher, which gives plus 20% core skill damage and plus 10 dexterity. But these rare yellow nodes also come with a bonus effect that when the certain requirements are met, you unlock that bonus. In this case, it's an extra 14% core skill damage if you have over 540 intelligence. Then we move up and see the highest rarity node, the legendary node, which when unlocked gives you a certain legendary power. This one is called Eldritch Bounty, where when you attack with an imbued skill, you gain 20% resistance and 20% increased damage for that imbuement element for 6 seconds. Another is Cheap Shot, where you deal 5% increased damage for each nearby enemy that is crowd controlled up to 25%. Now let's move on to unique items. We get a very quick look at what the unique item loot beam looks like when it drops. It's got kind of like a tan, kind of reddish color with like swirls of light around it. Really looks cool. Can't wait to actually get those to drop in game. They're supposed to be very, very, very rare, with the devs saying that hardcore players will only get a handful each season. Wind Force is actually back, making its return from Diablo 2 and 3 and still providing knockback like its predecessors. It comes with the unique power where on lucky hits with this weapon have up to a 18% chance to deal double damage and knock back the target. It also gives plus 32 to all stats, plus 18% core skill damage, plus 25% damage to distant enemies, and plus 2 ranks of the Impetus passive. The flavor text reads, "There have been numerous world-shaping conflicts throughout history. This bow has been found on the battlefield of every one and always in the hands of the victors. Barrett's Book of Implements." Then we see Ashira's Kanjar, which is a unique dagger, equipped with the unique power where hits with this weapon increase your attack speed by 4.5% for 4 seconds up to 22.5%. Also, plus 21% basic skill damage, plus 9% damage to crowd-controlled enemies, plus 25% movement speed for 4 seconds after killing an elite, and plus 7% lucky hit chance. The flavor text reads, "When Chaldeum's gates closed, Ashira led her iron wolves out of the city knowing full well they would never return. Instead, they roamed Kyrgyzstan, pledging their blades to any who were in need." This is in reference to Diablo 2. Then we see a super dope unique helmet called Cowl of the Nameless. Now visually this looks really, really cool. It gives me hope that unique items are actually going to look as rare and as cool as they are. But the unique power here is you gain 24% increased lucky hit chance against crowd controlled enemies. Also plus 41 dexterity, 13.7% cooldown reduction, plus 10.5% crowd control duration, and plus 17 maximum energy. The flavor text here is, "He is banished from the guild. His name stricken from the book. His punishment is to never have been." An excerpt from the burned parchment. We also see the player adding a socket to this unique helm, confirming you can add sockets as well as upgrade uniques. Not really sure if we knew this before or not, but I figured I'd throw it in either way. And that's it for the news roundup on Diablo 4. Make sure to check out my other videos where we've detailed the endgame systems or went over the recent class-specific changes that we will be seeing during the Server Slam weekend. I've got a lot of content planned for the next 2 weeks, including beginner intro guides to each character class and a guide to get through the Server Slam quickly to nail down those cosmetic rewards. So make sure to subscribe for more D4 content, and I'll see you next time. Peace.